Two clubs, dignified, strong. Both hungry, both ready. On the pitch is where we lay our scene. Prepare for drama, grit. A new story will be told as familiar foes face off. Boot to ball, playing with desire, a thirst to succeed. Silverware and glory, the ultimate goal. Chelsea blue, champions, standing strong. Manchester red, fresh-faced and here to take them on.
Manchester United are into the League Cup final for the first time ever.
North v South. A grudge as old as time. Just one more game, both are desperate to win. With that, it's time to let the final begin.
Chelsea against Manchester United is the defining head-to-head on multiple fronts this season. The Blues edged out the Red Devils in the FA Cup before nearly all of the players concerned disappeared for national service, and they'll host them on the league's final day as well. But today they meet for silverware, the Subway League Cup final.
It's not been the most smooth season so far. What would winning a cup at this stage do to silence the doubters?
Listen, I already said, I think we want to win for ourselves. I think we know we have a lot of quality. We have all the talent to grab the trophy today. And I think we are doing that for our team, because when you win, it's really special and you create these memories. That's really important when you are an athlete, and that's what we are focusing on.
It'd be huge, it'd be huge. Look, we've made history by getting to it. We all know that we want to be in the final to win them. We accept the challenge of the Chelsea team we play against. And I want to see us. I just said before, you don't get this time back, girls. So let's make sure we express ourselves properly and show our quality. And then, look, we can beat any team. So if we believe that, then we're going to this game in a good space.
Sonia Bonpastor won both cups last season. Mark Skinner got United to their first FA Cup final when they were beaten by Chelsea, and then he did it again and they beat Tottenham. Well, now they meet for the League Cup. It is the first time for United and for Skinner. On FA Cup duty, the Blues beat United in last season's Wembley showpiece. But here we go now at Ashton Gate for the campaign's first silverware. The second of three defining meetings of Chelsea and Man United. The Blues domestically unbeaten in claiming all three trophies last term. At least one of their titles is going to be handed over soon enough to the blue half of Manchester. But it is the red half of Manchester that is standing in the way on all other fronts. Quite a trilogy. Part one at Kings Meadow went all the way to extra time before the Blues ended United's 8-match winning streak. United will go to Stamford Bridge on the WSL's final day. And there's every chance that'll decide who qualifies for Europe. But today, it's about the season's first silverware. And Nia Jones, it's a tough one to call.
Yeah, it really is. Certainly Chelsea still the team to beat, but this season we have seen, for the first time in a while, just a few cracks in their otherwise illustrious armour. But Manchester United have really shown their mettle this season, and that gap has been getting smaller and smaller with every meeting.
Dawn Airy, the chair of the Barclays Women's Super League, Matt Flint, the senior marketing manager at Subway, and Nicky Doucette, the CEO of WSL Football. This is all part of it that you don't get week to week. Does it make it feel any more special there, or are you just thinking, let me get on with the game?
Yeah, I think you're just so excited, but of course there's nerves there, and until the whistle goes and you get your first touch on the football, there's still going to be a few butterflies floating around in your stomach. I think there is for the mascots as well, as you can see, but it's such a great occasion, and as Mark Skinner said in his interview, you shouldn't and can't take these moments for granted, because it's what you work so hard for in the week.
Bon Pastor's Blues have definitely, as Neil suggested, just shown a few more frailties this term. That's from a very high bar, lest we forget, but it's definitely there, exposed by various rivals to the point where perhaps there isn't quite the same fear factor as there was before. Prior to the international window, the United workload was heavier and their options limited. Ahead of the action here, the national anthem. Let's see how friendly it is at the end. 90 minutes or maybe more from here. Chelsea squad, unparalleled depth, 18 members of it away on international duty. Lots aren't available here, but even so, it's strong. 2 changes from the FA Cup lineup against United last time out. Baltimore's back on the left, so Berman shifts across with Germa out. And next to Vila Berman at the back, Kadisha Buchanan starting a match for the first time since the year before last. And it is still Cameron, Thompson and James up top, with Aggie Beever-Jones waiting on the bench and Sam Kerr still away. As for United, Mark Skinner's options not quite the same as that of his opposite number, but he does have Jay Riviere able to return here. Winter window signings Lundqvist and Vangerheim keep their places, while the other change sees Elizabeth Turland, the top scorer in all competitions, come back in, not positionally of course, but for Hinata Miyazawa, who has played, or should I say had played, every single United game this season, but is away at the Asia Cup. That will be a miss for sure now, but otherwise they've got enough tools to hurt Chelsea here. Yeah, absolutely, and it's fair to say that both teams are far from full strength. People away on international duty, as you said, the 2 Australian internationals, Kerr and Carpenter, out for Chelsea. Also at the Asia Cup will be a big loss, but certainly Miyazawa has been a revelation for him and his team. Offers them a real balance in the centre of midfield, so she will be a miss. Now ahead of kick-off here as the captains meet. And the rain starts to pour down in the West Country. That is Grace Lowe, and a reminder, we have VAR today. Timothy Wood and his team watching on here. Well, Letitia looking like she doesn't fancy the rain. Coming from Manchester, that shouldn't be a problem, nor Erin Cuthbert coming from Scotland. But anyway, the players gathering in the centre circle.
The footballing world was saddened to learn of the tragic passing of Oxford United goalkeeper Amelia Applin last weekend.
Pair of Amelia Applin and Amy Carr of Oxford and Chelsea, respectively, being remembered far too young. Deepest condolences of everyone across the women's game with them at this tough time, and their families, and there will be a period of silence in their memory.
Which will begin on the referee's whistle.
Manchester United haven't been around for all that long in relative terms in the women's game. Last 15 times they've played Chelsea, they have won once. They had a league draw earlier this season. They've lost 13 of those 15. The one win, big one, semi-final of the FA Cup a couple of seasons back. It has been a very one-sided head-to-head, no question, but equally, a lot of them been very close, very tight. Chelsea have tended to have a little bit of good fortune, and you do feel that at some point that has to change, and that United might just think you can get at this Chelsea team a bit more than they have done previously.
Yeah, I think you're right, and exactly as you said, that fear factor looks all but gone for Manchester United. They play them so often. You only have to look at the last time they met just 3 weeks ago in the 5th round of the FA Cup. United pushed them all the way, and they had to rely on an extra time scrappy goal off a set piece from Naomi Girma, who's not even involved today.
Away we go then. For the first silverware, we have the holders, and incredible the record is too, by the way, for Chelsea. First got into this final in 2020, and I know you don't have to play all that much football to get into it, but even so, they've been in every final since. Manchester United, first-timers. Lucy Bronze, who's got more medals than anybody. Making the first surge forward, and it's a good surge. Cuthbert, the captain in the absence of Millie Bright. Cut back from James. Not quite.
That's a really bright start, though, from Lucy Bronze. And the reason why so many fans would be excited to see her start in a more familiar position of right back in a back four, but really nice threaded ball through from captain on the day, Cuthbert. Just a little bit too much on it, it edged out. Oh, it is a corner, though.
The warrior that is Kadisha Buchanan, what a great addition for Chelsea to have back. The winner's winner for sure, kicking her heels. Came on, was straight into the 50-50s in the cup meeting off the bench, and that was her first game since November 24, now into start. They do also have Natalie Bjorn back, by the way, on the bench today, Chelsea. She's been out for ages. There's a pretty good team that would get into most people's teams that isn't even available for Chelsea today. As for Mark Skinner, well, they led them to their first FA Cup final, then their first FA Cup final win, now their first League Cup final. The brief was to narrow the gap, and he's certainly done it. Now, first shot nearly squeezes through. Elizabeth Turland, Hannah Hampton, Corney United.
Yeah, it just opened up for Turland, didn't it? Who has been frustrated with some of the minutes she has and hasn't had so far this season, and has really tried to make an impact whenever she's been given the nod on the pitch, and Hampton just can't keep hold of that one. It is a greasy surface.
Yeah, that sudden downpour and the wind's blowing. Turland got the 1-0 winner in the semi-final. That's how Man United got here. They beat Arsenal. Corner in towards the Tissier, met solidly by Lucy Bronze. It's not fully dealt with. Janssen, Boerman. Dutch internationals experienced and less so there. Cannerud, don't see her on the left much, but that's the corner setup. Nusken, good ball. Cuthbert. Cannerud with James outside her. Thompson making ground in the middle. Behind or not behind? Fallon Tullis-Joyce did her best, but no, it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, just no real focal point, and obviously they've got a couple of number 9s out through injury, Ramirez, Macario and Sam Kerr, but when Lauren James does this, she can be deadly, but no one really for her to aim for. They get another set piece though, Chelsea.
Cuthbert low. Theory, not that good a one, but it was still nearly dangerous. Viola Berman here is getting a run of starts, has actually been really good. You think sometimes when these talented young players come to Chelsea or come through, well, are they going to get the minutes? But actually, she's one, and Vika Kaptine's another, proving if you are good enough, you will get the starts and stay in the side. And Vila Berman has played a fair bit more than most people would have thought. But given that Bjorn and Buchanan are back now, we shall see. They do have several out of contract in the summer, though, including Millie Bright and Lucy Bronze. So there's an eye on the future, certainly. Here's James. Interesting, they're not really doing the squeeze here.
No, and I think I'm not surprised by Manchester United's approach here. They don't want to go gung-ho and press too early, too soon, and leave some gaping holes in behind that would leave them possibly chasing the game. So just really like a game of chess at the minute. Chelsea just trying to get United to step out of a passing lane, possibly open something up, but it's a fascinating head-to-head tactically at the minute.
For all their players and the possession they generally boss in most games they have, Chelsea have looked like they struggle when teams sit in and make it tough. 9 of their wins this season have been by 1 goal. There were 10 in the WSL last season. They definitely aren't as prolific, the numbers will tell you that. Manchester United kind of played it like this when Bonpastor's Blues went up north in the league game, and that was a good game. It was very even. Heck of a goal from the unavailable Anna Sandberg, which was the equaliser. They absolutely deserved the draw then, United. If anything, they edged it.
Yeah, and she's a big miss as well, Anna Sandberg, one of the best left-backs in the WSL this season, and it's forced Jade Riviere, the Canadian international, over to a more unfamiliar flank as left-back with Lundqvist coming in. So a bit of change they'll have to adjust to, and of course they haven't been together in a few weeks. Probably depleted numbers in training sessions for both teams, with so many international players involved.
Cuthbert scored in cup finals before. Cracker against Man City at Wembley that looked like it was going to be the winner and deserved to be. One of the great cup final goals. One ended up going to extra time. So often Sam Kerr has been the difference in cup finals. Not available today. Turland and Buchanan, and the Canadian wins the battle.
Yeah, she did really well actually, because it was on the opposite side to where she was angled to defend Buchanan. It's a lovely little pass through, just about gets her leg across. Turland deemed to have fouled her. A couple of duels so far for Buchanan that she's come out on top of, which will do her the world of good. Obviously extremely experienced international, over 150 caps for Canada, but when you've been out, as you said, for 15 months, you do just want to win your first couple of duels.
Well, she's nails, and so is Lucy Bronze next to her. Here's Kira Walsh. Ambitious ball from Walsh, but a tester for sure, and Riviere dealt with it. The other reason not to get high, I suppose, defensively is the pace of Alyssa Thompson, right? If you get too high, Manchester United, one good pass, she's quicker than... Mind you, Canada's pretty rapid as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's threats from all areas, but Thompson certainly will have been the one to watch.
Lauren James drifting around between them and winning a corner again.
Yeah, and just sucking in players wherever she goes. She's just so skillful and so well balanced with the ball at her feet, Lauren James, and can go both ways. So it's drawing in red shirts from everywhere. If they don't make that block, Manchester United, there's obviously gaps elsewhere. Great signal again from Erin Cuthbert, the big wave across. Managed to dribble through last time.
It's a bit more aerial. Rivier's got a bouncing ball to deal with. And one way and another, she's just about dealt with it. Lucy Bronze just a bit too keen to win it. You get your body in the way, you feel the contact. It's a very modern foul.
Sorry, Ben, she did well, Riviere, because actually she was swarmed by 3 Chelsea shirts. Would have been in trouble had she not been given the foul.
Well, we haven't got all the Americans that could be out there with no Gurma, but we've got a few of them, including Tallis Joyce. Alyssa Thompson was the MVP as the Americans won back the She Believes Cup. Important header from Lundqvist, newly arrived in on a free transfer in the new year. Bit of mid-season shopping. Leah Schuller arrived as well, still on the bench though. Lundqvist and Vangerheim getting game time. Tackle from Berman on Turland. Yet to see Jess Park get on the ball. That will be key, you think, for Man United?
Yeah, certainly, especially in the absence of Ella Toon, who herself can unlock a defence but also get something happening if it's just a counter-attack approach that Manchester United go for. But certainly she has hit the ground running on the other side of Manchester since her move. Jess Park had a great international window as well. Scored a brace against Ukraine.
Vangerheim, and the chance for Turland. It was a pass on for Mallard or a better shot than that. Either way, the one she ended up doing was not the one.
Well, that's a really poor effort from Turland. If you're going to take it on yourself and not slip in your teammate, you've got to at least hit the target. She's got higher standards than that, and it's scruffy stuff from Chelsea. It's a real let-off. Just got to put your foot through it.
14 goals this season. It sounds pretty impressive. I'm not saying it's not, but half of them in a prolific European campaign. I think Jess Park is still the top league scorer, just with 6. Marvin Mallard has got 8 across the piece. Surely the pass to Mallard was on there. United's best chance so far, certainly.
I think Laetitia mentioned in the week, actually, she predicts that it's going to come down to who is most ruthless in both boxes. Will they go on to rue that missed opportunity, I wonder?
Bit of space, although that was very quickly closed down by the rapid Thompson. Nelson did well. They're open again here. Disappointing cutback from Vangerheim is cut out by Buchanan. She will always back herself in those positions, Khadijah Buchanan. Just every now and then she gets her pocket picked. So when you just come back and you cannot be fully sharp yet, just want to keep an eye on that. Cannerad here, 2 bronze. It's been a fairly mutually respectful opening 13 here. No one's gone wham bam and gung-ho. Here's Baltimore, the scourge of United in the Wembley Cup final with 2 goals last May. They get left back again here. Not always the case, but quite often. James thumps the cross in. It's coming back. Thompson. Nusken. Well blocked by Zighiotti. Oh, it's a good hit. And it always stays hit when she hits it.
And again, we've just seen the skill and technique she's got. The cross with the left was begging to be attacked as well. And actually, don't blame her at all for having a whack here. puff of the cheeks, and there were a couple of other opportunities in that move for Chelsea to pull the trigger. Alyssa Thompson took a touch which didn't really need to. They are so fluid across that front three at Chelsea. I've seen Ritten Kaneryd and Thompson already picking up different positions, and that will cause the United backline a headache as well.
Lauren James came to Chelsea from Manchester United. I'm sure most of you know that. Summer 21. Having prior to that been the youngest ever at the time WSL player as an Arsenal kid. 16 years and 30 days.
Yeah, they'll be delighted that she has just agreed to give them her signature for another few years, keeps her at Chelsea till 2030.
His big brother did the same.
I wonder if they got a little family deal there.
2 for 1, that'll work. Though Big Brother didn't have the best day yesterday, that's for sure. Must be quite good to be in the family. You've got 2 chances most weekends of something good happening. Or 2 very grumpy children. That's how to play.
Yeah, just not the first time we've seen Lucy Bronze looking a little bit frustrated with a couple of calls. It's not as if they're being pressed high either to be making distribution mistakes. Hannah Hampton usually so good.
Melvin Mallard there, like Lucy Bronze, previous multiple winner under Sonia Bonpastor at Lyon. Khadijah Buchanan as well. And that's a sloppy one from the Canadian. Done well there, Lundqvist. 3 or 4 little steps, she's managed to pinch about 15 yards. Well done without being spotted. Newskin's touch, not a good one. Cuthbert's got to work hard here, and oh, that's an interesting call. And when I say interesting, I'm not sure that I really mean interesting.
No, I think she knows that unless she gets back here, Cuthbert, Turland is in. I mean, if anything, it's a 50-50. It's certainly not a foul by Turland.
You can just tell by the way Erin Cuthbert is sprinting there, knowing she's in some deep bother. But anyway, got the call. She's got it into Kaneryd, who's got it back from Bronze. Nicely done. James. Newskin may well have been offside there. But as Lauren James drifts into those positions, there has to be a Newskin, doesn't there, coming in from midfield or someone else, because that focal point isn't there.
Absolutely, it would have been a difficult technique anyway. Even if there was a little bit off it on the Lauren James delivery. Far too much power for Nuskin, probably. To get anything on target, she would have needed a knockdown, and as you say, not too many numbers in support.
Maggie Beaver-Jones is on the bench. Generally speaking, it has been Thompson and James, and generally Kaneryd up there lately. No Sam Kerr available today, but even when there has been, he's not getting near the starting 11 at the moment. Walsh does every week. Here's Baltimore. Good pressure from United. They've won it back. Zighiotti. Worth a hit. It's not a very convincing one from Ellen van Gaheim.
That's a shame, but again, messy stuff in possession from Chelsea, and they do look dangerous whenever they nick it in the Chelsea half. Zighiotti, I think, has been one of the signings of the season. It's a nice turn by Van Gaheim, but doesn't catch it at all. Never enough on it to trouble Hampton. But little warning signs again that when United do force an error, they've had the best opportunities on goal so far. Jansen's touch. And then James is not quite there. Yeah, Ellen van Gaheim
10th appearance for United today since coming in the winter window. Oh dear, big mistake, Janssen. Punished. Oh, they're good enough without any help at Chelsea, and Lauren James has just been given a gift out of absolutely nothing. The holders in front at Ashton Gate in the Subway League Cup final, and it's a moment to forget for a seriously good and seriously experienced defender in Dominique Janssen, gobbled up by Lauren James.
Well, on Mothering Sunday, it's the mother of all mistakes. As you say, it's just a simple pass back to Tullis Joyce. Over 130 caps for the Netherlands, usually so classy on the ball, very minimal errors, so experienced, but this is what can happen in a final. Nerves are floating round, you take your eye off the ball, and Lauren James is never, ever going to make a mistake from there.
This will test the mentality. There's a ton of time to go, but the holders have a lead. The underdogs are behind, having been fine, having really held them at arm's length for 20 minutes here. But yeah, that is a disastrous individual moment for a player of such quality as well.
Yeah, it's a funny old game. You could watch 100 matches and never see Dominique Janssen even give the ball away.
Mallard says I didn't touch her. Lucy Bronze with a big grin suggests maybe she was looking for it and got it.
It's not pantomime season, but she's been in full action of all the facial expressions so far, entertaining the crowd over at Ashton Gate on that side.
Cannerin. Janssen pulled out position again there, not sure where Lundqvist was, but now United have won it back. Let's see if that early goal makes it a bit more stretched. Jess Park on the ball near the Chelsea box. We haven't seen that very much as we approach the halfway point of the first half. Mallard will be quicker than Bronze, and it's across the goal and across everybody and out the other side.
Yeah, that'll give her confidence though, just to slow Lucy Bronze down. He took a swipe at it, and then it decelerated enough for Mallard to fancy her chances and get into the byline, and she fizzes it across. It's just too high. Too much on it for Turlin coming in at the far post. It's a good reaction, having gone behind uncharacteristically for Man United.
Park. Nice idea. Jade Riviere seemed to stop and then go again. I think she might have got there.
Yeah, she's quick enough, and certainly on this turf now with the rain that was coming down before kickoff, I think it was holding up, Ben.
Well, he'll probably be thinking here, them again. He has often seen his sides play very well against Chelsea and get nothing. And this has been an even first quarter with not a lot going on at either goal mouth, and they're behind.
Yeah, and I think actually that will help his half-time team talk if it stays like this, and that they'll take huge confidence from the fact that it was just a mistake at the back, and Chelsea haven't created too much, they haven't carved them open. They have showed signs at times. Britain Cannerid, when she skips inside and beats a player, there's just nobody running in behind as you usually would have with a typical number 9.
They've been behind in this run already, quarter-final against Tottenham. Behind very early on, mind you, that was Tottenham. They're still behind at half-time in that game. Jess Park levelled early in the second half, and Frida Rolfo won it late before they beat Arsenal 1-0 in the semi-final. The Grace that Mark Skinner was calling it there, by the way, is the referee, Grace Lowe. It's a good honour to get a cup final. Mallard working back well. I mean, I guess if you're going to have an individual horror show like that, it's better that it happens to someone who's kind of been there and done it. If it had happened to a younger player or a new arrival at the club or something like that, their head could be gone for 20 minutes and they might make another rick.
I think you're absolutely right, and also what that would then do for the players around them, you'd feel you have to babysit them a little bit and help them out of that moment. But Janssen, player of her experience and ability, won't let it bother her. If anything, probably rise from that. But I'm a bit surprised to see Manchester United not closing down a little bit sooner. I think there's plenty to be got at, particularly with the back four that Chelsea have got. We know that Bronze and Baltimore certainly are going to be pushing forward, so there is opportunity in those flanks and behind.
And here is Baltimore right on cue, pushing forward into the goal scorer, Lauren James. And Baltimore again, had to be well timed that by Riviere, and it was.
Great challenge. I like the way that Baltimore turned.
Didn't overcommit there, Riviere, good defending. Confidently done by Van Gaheim as well. There's Alyssa Thompson, who is nippy as anything, closing down Maya Letitia there, who's still going, by the way. Here we are, mid-March, Maya Letitia. Every minute of every game in League and Cup and Europe. Absolutely ridiculous. Cannerud, heavy touch. Might not matter. Letitia off Cannerud, that could have got anywhere.
Might have even just crossed the line there.
That did.
Yeah.
It's a goal kick anyway.
There we are, but Janssen, you could just hear it in the crowd. They're encouraging Chelsea to press them after that mistake. Why wouldn't you encourage your team to do it time and time again? And as you say, the pace of Alyssa Thompson, she works just as hard without the ball as she does on it as well. She cannot afford to be caught napping, Man United.
Five clean sheets in the league this term for Fallon Tullis-Joyce. Not quite played them all. It's a good weight. Good enough to get Van Gaheim as a favourite. Obviously, Lucy Bronze has got positioning down to a fine art, but she's not quick. Not these days. Jess Park had a crack from that kind of distance in the FA Cup meeting and smashed it against Hannah Hampton's post. Actually, all three of their efforts today have lacked the right technique to be as powerful as they should be. They've been a little bit gentle.
That's good defending from Letitia. Michigan centre midfielder, probably not where she enjoys being most, running down the flank, but not an easy skill to do. Beat the player 1v1, tons of space in behind you. Letitia did well.
Confident from Riviere, drew the challenge.
Yeah, she's a huge asset to Manchester United when she's in this mood, Jade Riviere. Really combative defender, but exciting going forward as well. I remember a performance against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. I think she picked up player of the match, and she was all action all night.
Park versus Baltimore, and France 1, England 0.
Yeah, really good upper body strength, and took a little risk, I suppose, going in with the shoulder first, but good 50-50 challenge.
Janssen got there ahead of James that time. Played 90 minutes for the Dutch twice during the recent international window. In fact, she's played every minute of 9 of the last 10 for club and country, Dominique Janssen. Been at left back a bit recently. Obviously, we're not historically used to seeing her in that or this position. Can do it, has done it, but quite often deep midfield in the past. Luskin, the short option, followed there by Lisa Nilsson. but got it through there to Sophie Baltimore. Keeping it for a long time, but not really doing anything with it. And now Chelsea have lost it. An hour to play, at least.
Yeah, played into Manchester United's hands there. They had enough numbers there, congested it on that side. Unless you're going to change the tempo quickly or hit a big switch, then fizzled out to nothing in the end for Chelsea.
Well, far more passes, far more of the ball, I think we'd all have expected that. I think Mark Skinner would have expected that and would have set up in that regard, wouldn't he? That they're going to have the ball more than us.
Yeah, and actually you could argue that Manchester United, when they've nicked it, have been the more dangerous of the two teams. 3 relatively average shots, but at least it's tested Hannah Hampton. Were it not for Janssen's mistake, Chelsea would have been probably very disappointed with what they've created, how little they've created in the opening half an hour or so.
The FA Cup win over Manchester United, yet another 1-goal win for Chelsea this term. There have been a lot of them. Park was the intended recipient there. There's a little gap to thread it through. Zigiotti couldn't quite do it. Now Janssen coming forward. That's a clever pass. And that's a better hit. Turler nearly squeezed one in that bottom corner early on here, and she's nearly done it again.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen somebody in Manchester United red really catch one of their efforts on goal, and we wondered how Janssen would respond. You can see that she's played in centre midfield. Brilliant disguise on the little through ball. Starts off on target, actually, from Turlen.
One of her 14 this season was the semi-final winner against the Gunners. First half stoppage time. Great work again from Zigiotti. Back as a player in England. Swedish international. It's at Brighton for a decent chunk, not all that long ago, but it's come to United from Bayern, and they've got them coming up in the Champions League. Leah Schuller as well coming from Bayern. Chelsea have got Arsenal over 2 legs end of this month. Man U have got Bayern. They could even meet in the Champions League final, these two clubs, on top of everything else. There are 6 coaches in the English women's game who have won both domestic cups. Mark Skinner hoping to become the 7th today. Nia's going to tell you the rest of them in a minute. Jade Riviere with the throw. Berman's header, little ricochet, is Mallard. Whoops. On the stretch, and the moment is gone.
Yeah, it seemed to be they were setting up something straight from the training ground. Jade Riviere really took her time to set up the throw-in. Here's the mistake again. She'll do that so often in training, bring it down with ease, and won't even need to look at the ball to thread it back to her goalkeeper, and nothing Tullis Joyce could do about that one.
It's quite a casual finish, that, isn't it? Maybe she's given it. I mean, obviously, 8 times out of 10 people go far post with any finish from an angle. Maybe she's given her the eyes there, because Tullis Joyce's weight is going that way. She's just calmly stuck it in. But for for someone with her technique and general calibre, that is, yeah, I mean, that is a 99 out of 100. She scores it just as, you know, 999 out of 1,000. Janssen doesn't do that. Cuthbert, I hope it's not the only one of the goals in this final, because we want some entertainment, and it would be a shame for that to be the only goal. Cuthbert has sliced that one wide.
Yeah, actually, it was Zigiotti Olmo did really well just to force her off balance, because there was a nice little through ball on for her if she was able to get it to the left, but it's almost like Zigiotti knows that, does just enough to stay on the referee's good side as well.
The next Chelsea goal will be her 69th, and the significance of that is that it'll take her above G. Ji So-yun, brilliant number 10 for so long in the earlier Emma Hayes years for Chelsea. promise here with Jess Park trying to find a gap to shoot through. Couldn't find that, so it's a pass instead. Bronze gets the block on Mallard. Zighiotti. They got their boxing well there, Chelsea. They absolutely flew in to get in the way.
Yeah, they do just enough to delay the move. It looks so on for Manchester United at times, but they get back in real good numbers at good speed, Chelsea.
This is good again. Oh, Turland. Good drive, good hit.
Well, she's only got one thing on her mind, hasn't she? Whenever the ball comes to her, wherever she picks it up, Turland bullies her way through two Chelsea players, and it's off the top of the bar.
I wonder if Hampton knew that she can't have bearings that good. But, on the rise, she's been denied by a Hampton save, put one just wide of one post, and now flick the top of the frame there. 10 minutes left, plus whatever is added on in this first half. And I was just going to say, Man United have had more shots and more dangerous shots, but none of those numbers matter.
Oh,
Chelsea's one on target.
If you're looking at the performance, it's certainly Mark Skinner who'll go in as the happier of the two managers.
The problem is, Neil, he's had that so many times against Chelsea. I've watched a lot of games between these two where Man U have been clearly the better team, and Chelsea always seem to nick the win. It's amazing. There's one Lucy Bronze settled the night actually Chelsea confirmed themselves as champions at the end of last season. They won 1-0 up at Leigh Sports Village. Man United were brilliant, absolutely played them off the park. Chelsea won 1-0.
Yeah, and that start that you mentioned at the start of the show, what was it, 9 occasions where they won by just one goal. I mean, here you could look at that and say that they're there for the taking and they're not as free-flowing as they once were, maybe under Emma Hayes, but actually what you can also say is they've got extremely good at managing matches, and that mentality, that winning mentality, is contagious.
Absolutely, it cannot be coincidence when you do it that often. But equally, sometimes it will cost you. And they had a little spell in the autumn, including that Man U League game, actually, the 1-1, where they got pegged back. It happened, I think, 3 league games in a row. Man U, Arsenal and Liverpool. It also happened against Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. All 4 of those matches, they went 1-0 up, they didn't get another, and all 4 of them they ended up drawing 1 each. Right then, let's see. Is this another training ground maneuver? Riviere. It's a lot of thinking. Whatever it was didn't work. Cuthbert to Bronze. Cannerud's the ball, and Cannerud gets the ball. Definitely onside as well. Cannerud towards James. Cuthbert! That's a decent chance. Not an easy one, but for a player of her calibre, a decent one.
Yeah, and she actually started the move. She really had to slow it down to wait for support to come, but when it arrived through Ritting Cannerud, she did really well just to create half a yard for herself and fizz it across. She's aiming for Thompson, but Riviere, so industrious, is always going to go in for that, and she's just leaning back a little bit too soon, Erin Cuthbert. Oh, it's just cries of handball up against Lauren James.
That's really good from Buchanan. It's just overhit from Villa Bowman.
Yeah, it's a shame that they couldn't hit the feet of Sandy Baltimore, who, as you said, has been a real thorn in Manchester United's side, and last couple of big games that they've played. 2 goals and an assist in that FA Cup final win last season. And it'll peg Jess Park back as well if they can get her on the ball more, higher up the pitch, which is exactly what Manchester United don't want.
Chelsea's only 3 defeats in the last, I think it's now 29 matches in this competition, have all been finals. They lost 3 finals in a row, oddly. Caroline Weir goal, Manchester City, and then back-to-back they lost the final to Arsenal before winning it again last term. Nearly halfway to retaining it. Millie Turner is on the bench today, by the way. She's had some injury issues after having quite a lot, several seasons really, where her and Letitia were just nailed on in there.
Yeah, and this is quite a nice opportunity actually for Manchester United just to enjoy the ball. Probably their longest spell of possession so far in the match. Chelsea happy for them to have it on the halfway line at least.
Broken kindly for Sjerken Nusken, and look out, because she's rapid and she's away. Huge moment in this final. Oh, what a tackle that is from Letitia. Alyssa Thompson, you presumed was clean through and a heavy favourite for 2-0.
Oh, there are too many defenders that are even trying to get back. Look where she starts from. She gives them a 5-yard head start and she chooses to go round the opposite side. Needs to pull the trigger earlier. The MVP of the She Believes. What a challenge that is. That's as good as a goal from Letitia.
5 seconds before that, I'd have said there is no chance she's catching her without a terrible touch, and there wasn't a terrible touch. There was maybe one, a third maybe for Thompson could have taken it away, but that is amazing that Maya Letitia has got a foot on that. And if you don't time that properly, you're gone.
And that could have been game over, Ben, if it goes 2-0 before half-time, when they've played so well, Manchester United. She's really kept them in this tie, the captain.
2-0 and a player down.
Yeah.
There's no way that's not a, what do they call it? Dogso. Denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, which I think we could definitely say that was. Wow. Huge moment. If Man U turn this round and end up lifting the cup, the captain is still breathing hard, understandably. She's going to be hugely responsible. Always want to know what they're looking at. Forward by Nielsen. Jess Park. More they can get her on the ball, more joy they're likely to have. They're playing for moments, really, the way they've set up here, I think. And they've had a couple, they just haven't taken them. Lucy Bronze has skipped past a couple of challenges. It's a risky ball, and Kira Walsh has just about made it hers.
Yeah, first mistake I think we've seen Buchanan make. Nearly stitched up Kira Walsh then.
Kira Walsh, the winner of 7 domestic cups with Manchester City.
It was nice to hear her speak in the week, actually, about how this was her first senior trophy that she picked up as a 17-year-old at Manchester City. Actually told her parents not to bother coming to the match because she didn't think she'd start, but Nick Cushing did give her the nod, and what a career she's gone on to have and is still having. I'm sure on Mother's Day, hopefully the parents have got the go-ahead to attend today.
Mallow on her own for the moment. She's either going to have to wait or do something pretty good. It's option A. Want it back.
I think credit to Buchanan again, just getting back and closing down, but doesn't dive in. So just that art of delay and just allows for some of her teammates to get back. Jess Park was screaming for a big switch over, but couldn't free up a foot, Mallard, to find her.
She's a coach who's only known winning as a coach, and, well, to be fair, quite a lot of winning as a player as well. We might hear a whistle there. Chelsea will be relieved, having not heard it, that the pass was a little off. Just be a bit sharper, and that almost that assist, well, the pass before the assist, United, they feel like they could get back level here, definitely. Just miscued a few of them. We're into the one and only added minute. I don't think we've seen a member of the medical team, and no one wasting time.
No one wants to waste time in this weather, do they?
Options here, right at the end of the half. Mallard has his first touch. Just delaying, and Baltimore not giving her an inch. Oh, she's done well to get that in there, and it's so nearly a leveller right on half-time, and it's only just wide. Great work in the end from Mallard. And as we hit 46 minutes, well, they couldn't have come closer near.
Well, outstanding work from Mallard, because it looked like the opportunity had gone, but maybe changes Mark Skinner's team talk now. Full of confidence, Manchester United.
Vangerheim so close to a first United goal. So far at Ashton Gate, it is a story we've seen quite a lot, actually. Chelsea not convincing, but in front. And they found a way through thanks to an unusual howler from Dominic Janssen and a firm finish from Lauren James. The holders lead by 1-0 at the break. Right then, Manchester United, what do you got? Well, we know what Chelsea have got coming, because she's there. Aggie Beever-Jones for Alyssa Thompson. Thompson's had a much heavier workload of late. Different kind of player. I'm thrilled to be getting 45 minutes, because she hasn't been getting much of that of late, and as a result she hasn't been scoring many of late there.
No, and it's a big call. I wonder if it is load, as you said. Mr. Thompson's been over stateside participating in the Sheba Leagues, as you said, has played a lot of minutes, but she has been Chelsea's best player this season. Aggie Beever-Jones, as you say, has played a bit part, started the season really well. I think she scored in the first 4 games of the season, but then picked up an injury. Will be really keen to make an impression here, and actually I think it's exactly what Chelsea need, is a focal point down the middle of that front line.
Yeah, sometimes out of favour, sometimes not quite fit. She's had an ankle problem. She's also one of those who is out of contract at the end of the season, Aggie Beever-Jones. I'm sure there would be plenty of interest. She did indeed have a flying start. 100% start. 1 goal in each of the first 4 of the season, and then unbelievably quiet since a couple when they hammered Liverpool. In this competition, quarter-final. Well, that followed 1 goal in 14 for club and country, and that was for England against the Aussies. So a flying start, and then an absolutely barren spell for Aggie Beever-Jones, but something different for his team to think about. Would you expect United to just keep playing how they were playing because they weren't really being caused too many problems and were causing a few themselves, or do you think he tweaks it or not yet?
No, I think he'll be pleased with how stable they've looked defensively. Obviously, the mistake was the mistake. That's just an individual error that you highly doubt will happen again. But Chelsea have struggled to carve them open. The only time, of course, they look vulnerable is with that high line. If they lose it in midfield, and the pace of Thompson did threaten. But other than that, I think they'll be the happier of the two managers, as you said. And we're looking at some stats over half-time, and the only department that Chelsea really edged it was possession. You had 58% of it, but you'd have to say they didn't do much with it.
Davy Jones with the defensive header there. Oh, Mallard going for the spectacular.
I think if there's one area Skinner will be asking more from his players is actually just executing the strike on goal a little bit better, but probably didn't think about it this way. The acrobatics just ushered out the way by Buchanan, who's had a really good game so far in the heart of the Chelsea defence.
Well, they had won 8 in a row across various competitions until that extra time defeat. Oh, Sinner. Sloppy one there from Buchanan. Nalsund! Solid hit, but too close to Hannah Hampton.
I'm actually not sure if Hannah Hampton was sure where that was going. Almost had so much power on it. It almost went through the gloves of Hannah Hampton, which rarely happens. Two best goalkeepers in the league on show here. Total miscommunication between Buchanan and Walsh. Oh, it's way too central on the effort. Plenty behind it, though.
They've not played together particularly, Buchanan and Walsh. United fans will be thinking, well, Janssen didn't get away with their mistake, Buchanan has, unless something happens from the corner. A few shouts of handball, but more from fans than players. And just a reminder, we do have VAR here on duty today. How nice that it hasn't come to interrupt just yet. Riviere with that long throw again. Everyone's got someone who can do it now. Oh, it's more up than out by Cannerid. Baltimore.
She does actually have decent length on that throw-in. Managed to get the first contact as well, but the all-important second went to Chelsea.
Another good challenge. Stand up from Letitia. And trying to get past Baltimore. There's a lot of international quality out on that pitch.
Already just a little bit more bite in Manchester United's approach without the ball, I think. Just closing down a little bit sooner, pressing that little bit higher up the pitch. They know they've got to chase the game now. They don't want to leave it too late. We've spoken about how well Chelsea can manage a game when they are up in the dying stages.
Well, let's see if one's enough today. Cannerid with Beaver Jones in the middle, who needs to get onside. It's not going to matter now.
It's a poor ball in from Mitten Cannerid. Timed her run really well and was well found by Bronze down this right-hand side as well. Lundqvist was never getting back.
Bronze again. Clever dummy from Lauren James, but it was just behind Nuskin. Not everybody can be on that wavelength. Baltimore, good cross.
It was a really good cross, as you've said, because it's swinging away from Tullis Joyce, who chose not to come.
Serena Wiegman. Plenty of these players, and would have had even more were it not for injuries on duty over the recent international window. There's a few to look at out there, Nia, but she could have more.
Yeah, absolutely, and a few as well that she's probably paying a little bit closer attention to than she maybe did in both of her Euros victories. Jess Park, probably the brightest English star in the league right now.
Jones had a really good summer with England last year, but at all levels of the game we see it all the time. The star isn't always in the ascendancy. Last summer you'd have said the forward at the peak of her powers. Here we are the following spring. It's just a reason and another, not quite happened for her. And look out, it's James and Janssen again. James is trying to power past Dominic Janssen. He was, I guess, always confident she could ease her pretty much to the byline and nothing would happen from it.
Yeah, just looked like she was able to ghost past it just for a split second. It's a really awkward one to have to deal with. Can't attack it first time. Letitia does well, actually, because she's tracking the run of Nusken all day long, but heavy touch from James in the end.
Well, won by Cuff, but a clever little touch from Beaver Jones. Get past Jade Riviere that easily. She's going to try and do it again now. That's well played. By both of them, actually. Beaver Jones getting on with it. Nusken. Done by Berman and by Baltimore. Passed their way out of a sticky moment there very nicely, Chelsea.
That's what you want from a substitute as well in a final. It's not just obviously a tactical tweak that Aggie Beaver Jones gives you, it's a little bit of energy. She's had to sit out of the starting lineup in a final. She's got that adrenaline coursing through her veins, and she has added a little something to that Chelsea front line.
Kept in by the always pacey Jojo Canarid. Not a good cross though. There's only Beaver Jones in there and wasn't anywhere near that. 21,619 inside Ashton Gate, a League Cup record. It's a great number now.
Yeah, it really is, and obviously fans having to come from London if they're from the Chelsea fan base or Manchester. It's not an easy journey to get to on Mothering Sunday as Bristol, so fantastic to see the football community excited about this one. What is middle of a fascinating season as well.
Indications that Leah Schuller may be coming soon from Manchester United. There's an FA Cup goal, and that is all so far in her 9 appearances for the club. I'd imagine they're expecting a bigger impact in numbers terms from her on that front, but more of her shortly, if she does indeed come on. Lauren James dispossessed by Ziggiotti, who really has been a brilliant signing.
Outstanding.
And Lauren James, as well as being a regular goal scorer, she loves a yellow card.
Yeah, and maybe a somewhat sarcastic thumbs up. I think she knows if she's challenging in the back, probably not happy to have lost possession. Ziggiotti probably knows as well, given her level of experience, that the challenge is always going to come in. 50 caps for Sweden.
First name taken in this cup final, nearly an hour in.
Yeah, and there's probably not been enough of that combative stuff for me. Silverware on the line, Chelsea, the holders of it, won't want to give it up very easily. Looks likely that they won't retain the WSL title. Manchester United in their first ever League Cup final. I want to see a little bit more do or die.
Double change coming soon for United, but they got problems here. Beaver Jones. Captain is there again.
It's a great run from Beaver Jones. Straight away on her bike when she realises that they've won it back here, Chelsea, and she's pointed to where she wants it, demanding the ball. Might just have strayed offside.
Frida Rolfo. Maria Schuller. Two fine signings to be able to make, for sure, given their pedigrees.
Oh, absolutely. Shows that Manchester United really meant business in the transfer window. Rolfo from Barcelona and Schuller from Bayern Munich. And as you said, probably we all expected a little bit more of Leah Schuller. I know it takes players time to adjust, but she's got over 50 goals in just over 80 games for Germany, so she is a goal scorer. Just not seen it for the Red Devils yet.
Yeah, good time to open the account here. Jess Park with the defending. Baltimore, awkward. It was in there, and Beaver Jones was in there too. There's some traffic between Ballantellis-Joyce and the football then. And Kadisha Buchanan needed to get a bit less of a head on it. That's a chance.
Yeah, it was an inviting ball in, wasn't it? And again, curling away from the goalkeeper, so she can't come out and deal with it. Buchanan, who stayed up from the corner, gets too good of a contact on it.
So Jade Riviere off. Rolfo, as Leah said, quite the coup. The winner of everything with Barcelona. Scored a few as well. And Van Gaheim the other to make way for Leah Schuller. Let's see what, apart from personnel, is tweaked about this United lineup now, if anything.
Yeah, and Riviere probably on managed minutes, having come back from a little niggle that she's picked up recently.
Schuller straight into it. Yeah, sure enough, Hannah Lundqvist has gone back to right back. Rolfo on the left. Is when you play left back for Barcelona, you're basically a left winger anyway, so she used to score zillions of goals. She's got 7 for Man U already, including a big one in this competition. They were behind, but victorious against Tottenham in the quarter-finals.
Yeah, both those players who come onto the pitch, Schuller and Rolfo, very dangerous in the air as well, so expect to see a few more balls into the box, probably from Manchester United.
Half an hour to go, at least, in what might be the last appearance for a while for, well, either, both of these clubs, given the proposals for next term for the Champions League clubs to not be in it at all. Mallard, she was sliding it through there for a run that never happened.
Yeah, and actually Chelsea did well to read it and had immediately dropped because there was no pressure on the ball carrier. Good defending.
Good from Hampton. He used to be an outfielder. Hell of a pass, that. James. Followed by Letitia. Mopped up by the newly arrived Rolfo, and Tallis Joyce was cool under pressure. So was Rolfo. Nicely done. Chelsea about to make another change of their own. That may be coming right now. Not a surprise, Khadijah Buchanan with an hour under her belt. Going to be replaced by somebody else who's just back from an injury. A fairly long time, certainly not as long as Buchanan, but bad thigh injury for Natalie Bjorn. Barely seen her this season. The Player of the Year last term, Natalie Bjorn, which is the one Nia will tell you always want to get.
What you're saying, not most improved? No, but what a stacked squad Chelsea have, even in the absence of Naomi Gurma, club captain Millie Bright as well, to still have somebody like Bjorn to bring on in this situation.
Did pretty well to keep that in, but only for Manchester United, as it turned out. Seeing the influence at all of Jess Park yet?
No, we haven't. I think Melvin Mallard, actually arguably Manchester United's most dangerous creative players, and I think credit has to go to Chelsea there. Whenever the ball has threatened to go anywhere near those two, there has been a Chelsea shirt close, but here's Mallard.
Asking the question again, her versus Sandy Baltimore has been a regular all-French affair there.
It's fascinating, there's so many players here who are playing against people that they've just spent the last couple of weeks with on international duty. I think Mallard picked up 2 goals that turned the result around for them against the Republic of Ireland, and Baltimore actually assisted one of those. There's nothing at all in that challenge. It's a rush delivery from Mallard, doesn't even look up. It's just the follow-through, catches her accidentally.
Cuthbert being hounded by Zigiotti, possibly fouled a couple of times, but never one to go down easily. She Bronze. Rolfo stops it from being a corner.
Just opening up just a little bit, and actually, given the boom mics at the side of the pitches these days, you can actually hear Mark Skinner asking Lisa Nilsson, asking Zigiotti to really get at Chelsea and close them down sooner. Uh-oh.
That's not good. That is not good. Hannah Hampton's just given the international signal for game over, I'm afraid, for Natalie Bjorn, who's only just come on after being out for so long, and she looks devastated.
Well, that's an absolutely terrible sight. And a player of her experience, over 80 caps for the Swedish national team, she will know her own body.
Well, here.
Oh,
there. I mean, it's not contact.
I mean, 1+ for her long term is that there's no sinister twist of any type of joint, but it does look like she's felt something immediately in her lower leg, her calf there, which you absolutely cannot play on with, not in a League Cup final.
2 minutes on the field she's had. You just mentioned there the relative, the Chelsea lack of options. Well, Buchanan and Bjorn just back for them, but Bright out, Gurma out. I mean, Sjöken Nusken has played at the back before. They might have to... They're going to have to do something a little bit different here.
And we know Lucy Bronze can also shift very ably across to centre-back. This the decisive moment of the match so far. Oh, how Dominique Janssen will be hoping that it's not.
Yeah. It would be a shame if that error is what settles it. Yeah, you're right. Bronze could... Obviously, Bronze could go in there and someone else play full-back. Mind you, for once they're a little light on those options too. They've got young Lexi Potter and Chloe Sarwir on the bench. Olivia Pegg's a keeper. Already brought on. I mean, Vika Kaptein's quite versatile, but that is just so sad to see for Natalie Bjorn, who's a really popular player and a really good one too. And she'd have been so buzzing to be back on the bench today, and the number goes up, and she comes on, and it's 2.5 minutes. And I don't think she really needs a camera in her face, to be honest. So, what's the plan, Sonia?
Earpiece is in, but as you say, you could see actually how delighted her teammates were when she came on the pitch. She spent so long away from everybody, from the regular training session. You're on your own doing rehab in the gym. That'll all be flashing through.
And Shirka Nuskan will surely end up filling in. Vicky Kaptein is going to come on. And you would have thought Bronze and Berman is the centre-back pair. And still 25 plus left of regulation time here. Canarid, dangerous. Narsund, and then it's cleared. They're dropping like flies now. Oh, Letitia has walloped that against Richard Canarid.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad little run here for Chelsea to get in behind, and it's one of Richard Canarid's better balls. Just on the clearance from Letitia, totally accidental, but she can hit a ball, Letitia. Crazy to think, we saw it before the game that they've only actually listed 7 substitutes, Chelsea, and only 5 of them, as you said, Ben, were outfielders. So it's crazy to think that a team like Chelsea are a little bit thin on the ground, but they are.
Well, it was Bjorn's replacement who just got felled by that shot, Vicky Kaptein. Nearly another one straight on and straight off again, but well, Sonia Bonpastor there with a little rueful shake of the head. I suppose there'd be quite a lot of coaches watching thinking, well, welcome to our world, with the options she generally has at her disposal. So, Kaptein on for Bjorn. Bjorn's teammate, Swedish level as well as Chelsea. Canarid there. Chelsea a player down right now because Kaptein had to go off having had treatment. The referee hasn't waved her back on yet. Chelsea still on the front foot. Baltimore. Cuthbert.
How many times have we seen Ziggiotti just get a toe in and just break something up that Chelsea are trying to build? So much of her work goes unnoticed, but if you do watch her, she is instrumental to everything good United do.
The reason why, Sonia, is that you have to wait 30 seconds if you've had treatment. Lauren James, great ball. Really teasing delivery there, well dealt with.
Yeah, and if she doesn't get enough on that, Letitia could so easily have just glanced off her head into the far corner of Tullis Joyce's net. Good defending, picked up a good spot there. Beavy Jones, uh-oh.
We've just had a scrappy few minutes here with various injuries and stoppages. There's not really been any flow for the last 10 or so.
No, and actually I don't think Chelsea will mind that, because it does rock you as a teammate when something like that happens. Your friend comes on the pitch. It's a big moment for her personally, and a big point in the game as well. To see her go off in tears is never nice.
Park. Park and Turland and Mallard as a trio really behind Shudder as the centre forward, it kind of looks like now for Manchester United.
Just moments like that, Chelsea just need to keep it simple. Probably tell that they haven't been together as a group for a while, haven't played together for a while, but quality not quite been there from either side in the second half.
Still in play. Thanks to the backspin on that. Yes, it's been a bit of a scrappy game in all honesty. Been a Cup final classic. Baltimore on the charge. Even that into the heels of the player she's trying to play through, Beaver Jones. Just in microcosmic form, a little disjointed, although I suppose this game is a little bit like Chelsea's season, really. Slightly disjointed, but generally just doing enough to win. a chance, and Turland's played it in behind Schuller.
It is really scrappy stuff. You just saw it, just both teams just exchanging blows of 2 to 3 passes, and really poor execution of that final one.
Walsh doesn't give it away very often. To Captain and Cuthbert. And Erin Cuthbert with a good ball out to Cannerud, whose first touch is nice. That's the ball in field. Lauren James with time and space and options, and a lovely shot. We know she possesses that. On target, but simple stuff for Tallis Joyce.
Yeah, really well worked Chelsea move, actually. Kira Walsh and Erin Cuthbert did the hard bit, and it frees up Lauren James just to join in. 13 clean sheets apiece last season for Tallis Joyce and Hannah Hampton, so absolutely 2 of the best, not just in the league, but in probably world football.
There you go, they've had a couple of shots more. And a lot of them have been more threatening. Just 2 on target for Chelsea. It's looking increasingly like 1 will be enough. Big gloves to fill with Earps departing. Just going back to Tallis Joyce, been a very consistent keeper. Hannah Hampton at the other end won the Keeper of the Year at the Ballon d'Or Awards. Either of these clubs are in the League Cup next season. Foul throw, never spotted. If either of them are, then it means they haven't got top 3 in the league.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because actually if you were to ask a Manchester United fan what was your most successful year, they'd probably say when they lifted the FA Cup in 2024, but that was the year they finished 5th in the WSL. So what would they rather? Would they rather Champions League football? They are enjoying it this season for sure. Or would they rather a trophy? This could be, as you said, if the plans go ahead, an end of an era, really. In terms of being able to pick up a domestic treble.
Which, of course, Chelsea did last term. I think everyone on Planet Football knows the one trophy that's missing from the Chelsea cabinet. I say cabinet, it's an entire wing. The European one is the one they want. Arsenal first up, standing in the way on that front. The quarter-final that begins end of this month and concludes on April Fool's Day at Stamford Bridge. Baltimore with the corner. And that's going to loop over the top. Now, it's 75 minutes now. It feels like it's drifting a bit, this game. And now, that's kind of OK for her team. Man, you need to stop it drifting now, right? At some point, they've got to... I don't mean absolute kitchen sink, but they've got to start trying to make something happen more now, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if they can get their creative players on the ball more, in Melvin Mallard, in Jess Park, then they're in with half a chance. Turland is certainly quieting down. Uh-oh.
Swift turnover, and the dangerous James is there. Well tackled by Janssen. You know, it's a cup final. Goal difference is irrelevant. If they have to concede a second going for an equaliser, then so be it, surely. Cannerud. Good ball. Beaver-Jones still there! Hannah Lundqvist didn't deal with it. Aggie Beaver-Jones did. And the cup is surely Chelsea's now. 2 mistakes at the back, Manchester United today, both of them punished.
Well, you just said it yourself. Nobody really taking control in the second half. Nobody really grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. Beaver-Jones was bright when she came on at half-time. And all she'll have been thinking about last night is, if I get on, I want to score a goal. Ritin Canarid, her deliveries have improved as the match has worn on, and you can see there's just a wrestling match at the back post between Lundqvist and Aggie Beaver-Jones, and it's anybody's, but actually she loses sight of it, the full-back, and Aggie Beaver-Jones doesn't have to do much with the finish, but it does just rickle in past the outstretched Tullis Joyce. And you
Good
have to
cross,
say,
Canarid.
probably exactly as you said, Ben, is that game over?
That's a quick reaction. I mean, you're watching a slow-mo there. She's alive to where that ball might drop, and she didn't need to meet it that cleanly, just get something on it. It's right in the corner. And ABJ, beloved of those supporters there, has, what, for her actually, is a rare goal of late. And Chelsea have a commanding lead now, not a narrow one.
Yeah, and as a Chelsea Academy product as well, it'll mean the world to her to have scored in a final. It'll mean even more if they manage to get the job done here.
And again, he has seen this team compete well, generally be on a kind of even footing with Chelsea for 80 minutes. And it looks like defeat for Skinner and United, unless...
As well, we said, didn't we, when Turland had a couple of opportunities that didn't sail past Hampton, would they go on to rue those opportunities? And I know it's a cliche in football that people are probably sick of, but unless you score when you're on top against a team like Chelsea, then it might come back to punish you.
And it has so often punished Man United, specifically in this particular head-to-head. There's a lot of winners' medals at Chelsea in this squad. Vila Berman is going to have that winning feeling unless United can change this for the first time. You just need something like that to go for you, really, and it hasn't for Manchester United. Sjurken Nusken. Don't know. Decision. Corner, I think. As Vila Berman was bought from PSV and loaned back to them, so this has been her first season. But most of these Blues know what it is to have a big medal collection. So many of the United players. FA Cup for a few of them. Here comes the corner, and it's way too close to Hannah Hampton. The truth is, actually, neither keeper near has had a great deal to do today. You try and think of really good saves they made or important stops. They haven't come. There have been some good blocks in front of them by defenders, but the keeper's quiet.
Yeah, and the saves that Hannah Hampton has had to make. And such a talented keeper, they're very easy saves for her. And I will be disappointed if United don't throw everything at this. You can hear the boos. This has been a very well-reported instance that we've seen in many a game, the men's game and the women's game. Tullis Joyce going down with seemingly a little injury.
Well, I heard someone saying the other day on the radio, what can you do? Because you can't prove whether someone's injured or not, and you can't do that. But what you could do, I think it'd be very simple. You say, players, you can't leave the field. She can have her treatment, but you're not going anywhere. This can't happen. Everyone does it when it suits them. There's nothing against Manchester United. Every team has done it, and every team will continue to do it, because football people are really clever. And if rules come about, they'll find ways to subvert them.
That's what being an elite athlete's all about, is finding out what those boundaries are and pushing them. And as you say, I think they are trialling it in the NWSL next season, that players have to maybe stay in the centre circle if this happens. And if the keeper needs to go off for an injury, they can head over to the dugout, but or a tactical timeout. Do you want to go full American sports and have a tactical timeout? Because actually...
You could do that.
If the information Skinner and his team manage to get on livens his game up a little bit, then I'll be... quite pleased that Tullis Joyce has had a bit of an ice pack.
Yeah, I think the centre circle's the way forward, but yeah, why not, I suppose. You seem to wait a half-time or an injury to do that chat, because I guess you can't hear it properly from the touchline mid-game. Certainly not when you've got a big crowd like this. Now, Leah Schuller not being able to make an impact in her short time on the field today. Manchester United, if they aren't able to turn this round, will have full concentration on trying to usurp Chelsea in the league. That's a bit of a wallop, but Letizier's big and strong and gets up from that.
And fair play to Letizier for not staying down, because the referee would have had to, of course, were it a head-on-head collision, stop the game in what could have possibly been a dangerous situation for Manchester United. It's there for both players to go in and win it. Wow. And both straight back up.
That's how you do it, folks. Nuskin slices it out. They got it level in the FA Cup meeting, but they were only one down then. Unlikely scorer, Simi Awujo. "22 major club honours for Lucy Bronze." You just saw a shot of there. Crazy.
Same number she's got on the back of her shirt. It's just crazy numbers. And as you said, they've got all the ingredients, Chelsea, to go on and win that elusive Champions League. They've got players littered throughout their squad that have done it for Lyon, and they've got a manager who's done it as a player and a coach as well.
Yeah, their problem is that Barcelona exist. Same as everyone else faces that issue. Chelsea had done everything prior to Bonpastor's arrival apart from that. And, well, we know what happened last year. 4-1 in both legs. It is a proper whooping. Mistake. Ziggiotti pulled back James and then had to let her go. Lauren James nearly blasted in another. It's not been a 3-0 game. But if there'd been a hat-trick of goals from errors at the back from Man U, that really would have felt bitter.
And actually, there was options on for Lauren James, when she nicks it in here, and she has just been ghosting around the shoulder of the Manchester United defenders. Could she have slipped in? Written Cannerid, I wonder, tries to give Tullis Joyce the eyes again and go near post, but you have to do more to beat her from there.
Call me once and all that. Cuthbert with the corner, right into the mob. My goodness, not dealt with. Beaver Jones dropped at the feet of an army of people on the edge of that 6-yard box. Corner chaos, part of modern football.
It's just a lottery when it comes out in the second phase. Whoever's going to take a strike, it could come off anybody's stud. That seriously would have been game over, but in that semi-final of the FA Cup, both teams relied on set pieces, so that's still a way Man United can hope to get back into it. Wiegman looks chilly.
Bronze manages to make it work for her again. Here's James coming back from an offside position, either her or Aggie Beever-Jones, but flags up. Simi Awujo off the United bench, as she was in the FA Cup tie, to bundle in what at the time was an equaliser. Ziggiotti off, having had another good game. That 8-match winning streak for United was halted by Chelsea in the FA Cup, and now double insult. They've done it in this one as well, it would appear. And Lauren James, as slowly as she can, is about to... Oh, maybe not, actually. Will make her way off? No, not yet. Lexi Potter apparently coming soon, but before that, United get on with the free kick. And the pass will go to Dominic Janssen. Lisa Nilsson, Rolfo. Ujo straight into it. United lost 3 times to Chelsea last term. It's looking like twice this time around. With a meeting at Stamford Bridge to come on the final day, that has all the makings of a classic pressure situation. The likelihood is you're going to have Arsenal, United and Chelsea playing for 2 places right the way, not until the latest stages of the season. It's a good tackle from James. Kira Walsh striding out, seeing no one in blue in front of her. That's not going to happen very often.
Well, there's been plenty of her teammates that have had to fill in for other people today. It could be another trophy again to add to an already stacked cabinet for Kira Walsh too.
Lundqvist forward to Schuller. Got a bad cross. I think Mallard was outnumbered in there. They both have 6 to play in league terms. Manchester United and Chelsea. And United are a point ahead. Awujo is 4 in the box now. And they'll stay up because it's a corner.
Yeah, roll of the dice, last roll of the dice. You can hear Skinner again asking for more bodies to commit themselves forward. Well, there's an extra body forward. Still a few minutes to go. Tullis Joyce, she's a good athlete. I'm sure she can get back, but this would be a moment.
Well, a minute of normal time, and we're hearing 8 additional. So get one here. It's over. The United keeper, who's still loitering at the back of the D, as Sandy Baltimore just smashes it, but Chelsea had everyone back. Sweeper keeper, redefining it there, Tullis Joyce. Park sends it in. Lucy Bronze. No surprise that she'll find a way to be on the end of something to clear.
Yeah, probably what we can expect to see for the next 8 or however many minutes are added on. A few substitutes, a couple of injuries as well, but Chelsea just don't have to chase anything now, don't have to create anything, just have to stay disciplined, stay organised and defend the box.
Janssen played the pass and then was following her pass actually. Cross went in. Awujo with the shot. 8 minutes confirmed. What can happen in 8 minutes? Lexi Potter for Lauren James. That tells you that Sonia Bonpastor thinks the job is done. Lexi Potter, the youngster who's just had a few appearances this term. Got a full debut in this competition against Liverpool. She's more Akira Walsh than a Lauren James. So just in there to help out as Mallard does get the cross in. She's had a swing at that. And I don't think Hannah Hampton is gonna tell off Lucy Bronze, because why would you do that if you were sane?
She nearly volleyed Hannah Hampton's glove off, I think.
Good challenge from Awujo, and a little slip from Potter. Just allows Nalsund in. Now then, this is promising. 3 in the box, needs a good cross, and it was. Lucy Bronze defending there on Turland. Superb. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Beaver Jones. I'm not sure what Serena Wiegman might have learnt here today that she didn't already know. Lucy Bronze scored on 145th England cap the other day. Should be pleased to see Beaver Jones getting some game time and getting on the score sheet. 6 of the added minutes left. That was great defending from Bronze, wasn't it?
Outstanding. Had to make it as well, because it was delicious delivery from Schuller. Probably not where she wants to be. She wants to be the one in there attacking it, but Turland was closing in, and that was almost certainly going to be a goal from the Norwegian. She has had a good game, Lucy Bronze, and it's not easy either to start in one position and then have to shift across to another in the middle of a final against a good team.
It's not just ability in the clubs she's played for, and those of course help quite a lot. But there is a certain mindset about Lucy Bronze.
I mean, when your middle name is Tough, you're only going to grow up and be one way, I think, but just never changes, ever present, and still absolutely one of the world's best footballers.
Two goals in less than 5 minutes. Manchester United need. It's going to end up going down with a bit of a whimper, unless Schuller here, forced wide by Burman. Nalsund, Letitia. Oh, slip through here for Mallard. I'm waiting to see a flag. And now it goes up. And look who's in the back of the net, but the ball isn't.
And that's the main thing. She'd take that all day long, Lucy Bronze. 3 teammates helping her up, because I wasn't sure that Mallard was offside here. As it slips through, oh, she's just off.
Yeah, Baltimore far side was close to playing her on, but not. And Lucy Bronze got there anyway. I'm just going to run into the post to make sure this ball doesn't go in my net.
And to be honest, what a save that is, because Hampton wasn't to know that she was offside. But look at this defending. Oof.
Even won a goal kick. Yeah, nobody knew at that point. There was a hint of potential about it. Lucy Bronze got the winner at Manchester United to seal the title last term. The FA Cup final against them last spring as well. They're sick of the sight of her. Out of contract in the summer, maybe she could join them. Wujo, corner.
Well, if Tullis Joyce came up for the last one, she'll most certainly be up for this one as well.
Someone, powerful run from deep, get a bit of luck, get airborne. Letitia's going to drill it in, the wind's still blowing hard at Ashton Gate. And Tullis Joyce was right in the middle of that pack. I think it is Turland that it's come off, is it?
Yeah, I think you're right, just came off the back of her head. Paints a frustrated figure, because she knows actually there's plenty of chances for her to put a team ahead, especially in that first half.
Not actually scored that many this term, Lauren James. Obviously missed a bit of a chunk of it. The goal she got not that long ago against West Ham was her first of the season. Going back to last spring. Scored against Liverpool now, and United today. And another winners' medal is coming. I think we can say that for sure now. Chelsea have got a minute and a bit to play out. Locally announced as the player of the match. What was that? Leah Schuller in on the angle here. And still going. Oh dear. Oh dear. Outside of the boot. And the inside was required. Would have given us a frantic final minute. Letitia. Wujo backwards to Rolfo. Janssen. Well, they're used to silverware, the Chelsea fans, and more is about to be confirmed. Our 8 added minutes are up. Here's the player that sealed it. It's a check of the watch there from Bracelow. Even if they got one now, Manchester United, there won't be time for anything beyond it. Captain to the relative safety of the touchline. Captain again here. It might not have been all that convincing today, or in general this season. But Bonpastor's Blues have done what they do so well. They have won a trophy again. The League Cup holders stay as holders. A couple of errors punished. Manchester United are left thinking, not them again. So the first trophy near Jones of the campaign belongs to the greediest collector of all of the trophies, Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, it wasn't the most memorable of matches, wasn't the most memorable of performances from Chelsea or from Manchester United, and it was certainly there for Man United to attack it in the first half. Plenty of opportunities for them. Hannah Hampton was the busier of the two goalkeepers, but Chelsea know how to win, and they were depleted today from a squad perspective, but they got the job done. Credit to them.
Yes, they did. Chelsea 2, Manchester United 0, the final score. Winning is our aim, and is an aim that is successfully achieved on a scarily regular basis. 3 domestic trophies, all 3 of them last term. They're not going to be retaining the WSL crown here, but they've got this one in the bag. They're still going in the FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad season at all, is it? We've just got such high expectations of them as a club, them as players, and her as a manager as well. And saw the reaction that she gave at the final whistle. It was joy, but it was also a bit of relief, I think. She knows eyebrows were raised when she was handed a new deal in the summer, given their league form, but their leader stood up today.
Yes, they were missing a fair few, and then lost one of the returning players to injury. As soon as she came back on there, Natalie Bjorn. Lucy Bronze typifying the defensive effort. Manchester United didn't have great chances. They had some chances, but they weren't wide open. Chelsea, well, they took advantage of a couple of errors back there from United. Well, Millie Bright not able to play today. In her place, with the armband, was Erin Cuthbert.
Well, Erin, before the match, you said United would be tricky. You battled them, you battled the rain, but in the end, Chelsea were just too good. Sum that one up for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a battle. You know, it's always hard coming off the back of an international break. It's not really off form. You don't really know how it's going to go. But you just got to, like I said in the pre-match interview, you just got to find a way to win, and we did that today. And I think we were pretty dominant over the course of the game.
To do it as captain, it's pretty special, isn't it?
I mean, just looking over and seeing the sea of blue flags, it's special. I've been here a long time. It means the same every single time I win a trophy, but I mean, as captain, you take a lot of the responsibility, so what a day.
I know you're going to take a minute to really enjoy this moment, but what can this trophy now do for this team moving forward this season?
Well, that's it. Like, we've got another game on Wednesday. It's just got to give us momentum. It's got to give us belief that we are a good team. You know, we've had up and down spells this season, but we're a good team and we can beat anybody on our day.
Are you giving out a little celebration tonight?
No, Gaffer's already won. There's no chance.
We've got to enjoy this moment. Well done.
Thank you.
It's not like the old days that had cracked open the booze already. Once upon a time, Millie Bright, cheerleader-in-chief there, and well, many an injured player involved. Kat Macario there as well. Millie Bright's been shoving Viola Berman towards the Chelsea fans to try and give her a little bit of limelight.
I do think Berman was excellent. Bronze was excellent too.
Chelsea celebrations again, and getting them going today was the goal scorer, Lauren James.
Any more words to sum up? Words to sum up another trophy, and yeah, to get on the score sheet as well to help the team win. I couldn't be happier.
Do you remember?
You got to refit.
Go again.
Are you ready now?
That's what the first question is going to be.
We're going to come down to us live.
Let me get the answer. Just right.
Well, a few technical issues. We'll try and hear from Lauren James in a minute, but as you can understand, there's a lot going on out there and people are treading on one another's toes and cables. Nice to see Natalie Bjorn at least with a smile on her face. Kat Macario giving her a hug. I don't know what the state of that injury is there for Natalie Bjorn, who only got 2 minutes on her return. I think we can now hear from the player of the match, Lauren James.
Well, Lauren, a League Cup winner, a goal scorer on the day. How would you sum up your afternoon?
Amazing afternoon. It's so nice to get another trophy to start off the rest of the season, and yeah, it's always nice to get on the score sheet to help the team win.
Do you remember much about your goal at this point?
Yeah, I just remember winning the ball and then thinking, yeah, all I had in sight was a goal and to put it away.
There were some big names missing for Chelsea today. How deep did you guys have to dig out there?
Yeah, I think massive, but you know, we have a squad full of quality and everyone digs in, everyone fills in, whether we had injuries. Like CO filling in numerous positions today and Lucy. So it just goes to show what the quality everyone has.
This team always seems to find a way in the big moments. What was the difference today between you and United, do you think?
I think it's just in our DNA. We always find a way to win, whether we play well or not. We always make sure that no matter what, we put up a fight and we make it hard to beat.
And how does this team now have to use this trophy going into the rest of the season?
Massive. I think we need to use it as momentum, and hopefully we can use this game as another step forward and keep working hard and trying to achieve our dreams.
You've just seen me trying to struggle to hold on to this trophy. You are the Subway player of the match. Congratulations. It is a heavy one. Where's this one going to live in your house?
Thank you. Along with all the others.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Well, fair enough. She's got a lot of them there.
Yeah, and hopefully with the new contract, she's got a new trophy cabinet as well, because she's got plenty of team awards to add to the individual ones. But yeah, another special performance from her against her former team as well.
Closing down. Maybe it made Dominic Janssen take her eye off that ball just a little bit, and that was a big moment in the first half. Chelsea had not really threatened until that point.
And do you know what's nice is actually just to see the camaraderie between all the Chelsea players. They are this winning machine that we are so quick to criticise if we feel like they're below their usual standards, but they are people, they are a team, they are friends. So to see them enjoying this moment in the middle of what's been an underwhelming season from them so far is great.
Yeah, today without Carpenter, Bright, Germer, Charles, Kerr, Macario. Mano's gone out on loan. Guro Bright recently departed as well. There's quite a few to be without, and they've got quality in there. Now 4-time winners of the League Cup. 1 point behind Man United. With 6 to play in the league, that one's going to get twitchy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and it's nice to see as well, actually. Players like Millie Bright and Aggie Beaver-Jones, who you mentioned, are out of contract in the summer, so who knows what's going through their minds now. Could this be one of the last times they lift a trophy in Chelsea blue?
Well, it's there's a pretty good chance it'll be the last time they lift this trophy in Chelsea blue, yeah. Unless, of course, they are pipped to third by Arsenal and Manchester United.
I think what I was a little bit disappointed by, just from a neutral's perspective, is it felt like both teams just had half an eye on the rest of the season. And of course you have to make Champions League football. If you're a club like Chelsea or indeed Manchester United, you have to finish in that top 3. But moments in this match anyway, for me, it felt like both of them had half an eye on Brighton. That's who Chelsea have got next, and West Ham, that's who Man United have got midweek.
Yes, a couple of rearranged games there, the matches that they would have had this weekend. Brighton for the Blues, and then they're away at London City in the league. And then it's the first leg of the Arsenal Champions League quarter-final. Arsenal have already come to Stamford Bridge and won this season. And at the end of it all, Manchester United come to Stamford Bridge, as we touched on earlier. I mean, there's a pretty good chance that there'll be some permutations on the line on that final day of the league season involving Chelsea and Man U, and quite possibly Arsenal as well, isn't there? I mean, that could be
Joy, is it relief? Where are your emotions at?
Sonia Bonpastor.
No, I think the emotions are really high.
Barbara there, very important. Top brass at Chelsea Football Club these days. Natalie Bjorn, fair play for smiling. Let's hope whatever that is precautionary. We're going to hear from Chelsea's victorious coach. Yet another win for Sonia Bonpastor.
Is it relief? Where are your emotions at?
No, I think the emotions are really high. A lot of happiness, and yeah, I would say really happy. Because it's always difficult to play a final and to win. I think people just think because we are Chelsea again, it's just like, yeah, an habit. But I think it takes a lot for my players to be able to come, to perform at a really good level and to grab another trophy. So I'm so pleased for them, they deserve it, and yeah, we need to celebrate.
Apart from the result itself, what was the most pleasing thing about today?
I think, yeah, I'm really proud of my players, you know, like in every occasion they just show up. I think they fight with the right team mentality, and I think today again was not easy, But yeah, we played as a team. Defensively, we defended well. I think it's been now different games against Man United where we don't concede, we have a clean sheet, and I think it's a real team performance, so I'm really pleased for my players. I think I said before the game, this game is the opportunity for us to create memories, and yeah, that's what we did.
We talked before the game about it not being the easiest of seasons, but to do that today with so many big players missing, what does it say about this team and where it's heading?
Yeah, again, I think you're right to mention that, even if as a manager I want to focus on the players who are available. But I think if you look at our squad this season, it's been tough. We had some big injuries. Really important players not playing for the team, and I think, yeah, it's not always easy, but it just proves and shows the quality we have in the squad, even when some players are not available, and I'm glad for the ones who are playing and playing well.
I'm sure you are aware that it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
Will you get to celebrate with your team and your family tonight?
Yeah, my kids are here, so yeah, next step is for me to grab them and celebrate with them and the team.
Erin's just told us you're not letting them party tonight, though.
No, yeah, I think that's important to celebrate. You know, these moments in your career are really important. You create the memories, as I said, and yeah, I just want the players to celebrate a little bit. But we are playing in Wednesday again, really important game. But we are used to that, and yeah, we love to be in that position.
Well done, go and enjoy it, you've earned it.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yes, they are used to it. And games coming up in League, FA Cup and Europe. How many do you think they're going to win there?
Well, it was last season that this competition, this trophy really kick-started their emphatic finish to the season where they did pick up the domestic treble, and it's amazing to think that Sonia Bonpastor has never taken charge of Chelsea in a final and lost it. So it's worth noting her record with them is still amazing. I think 79% win ratio. She only lost 6 games in 66 or 67 today. So they are a winning machine, but she is right. We do take for granted that Chelsea will just turn up and get it done no matter what. But the gap is getting closer and closer. They just will be ruining their missed opportunities from the first half, I think, Manchester United.
And they are about to get a medal that, well, some of them will still like to have, and I suspect some will be thinking, I don't really want it.
Yeah, it's a funny one in football, isn't it? Because we've just watched, you know, the Winter Olympics, and so many athletes absolutely delighted to be picking up any type of medal. But football, it tends to feel like you've lost on the day rather than achieved anything in the competition. So certainly it is their first ever League Cup final. They'll take huge pride in that, but they're such an ambitious club. They only want to win things.
Well, the United skipper still manages a smile. Maya Le Tissier showed all her usual battling qualities today. Just 1 or 2 around her had just a millisecond moment, and it cost them big time. They have 6 league games to ensure this season finishes on a high. Whether or not Chelsea are in their head, though, to the point now where they think, are we ever going to beat this team? Just once in 16 meetings they've managed it. 14 Chelsea wins now. At some point that has to mess with you a little bit, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Do players think about that sort of stuff, or is that more people who are looking at stats?
No, I do think you can fast develop a bogey team, and no matter how well you play on the day, it does start to feel a little bit like, when are we ever going to get a stroke of luck? And it was a stroke of bad luck what happened to Dominique Janssen. Can you watch her play another 100 games and she never makes that error? But they still had opportunities, Manchester United. They'll take pride from that they created probably the better of the opportunities of the two teams, but it's a separate piece, having the mentality to just get over the line and take your chances when they come. And they're not quite there yet as a club, not quite as consistent as others in the league, like a Manchester City and Arsenal or a Chelsea, but absolutely priority for them now, seeing as they're out of the FA Cup, is how far can they go in the Champions League, but can they secure European football for next year too?
Didn't get much of a chance to see Leah Schuller, who still only has 1 FA Cup goal to her name since joining. Turner went through a moment ago, didn't see her at all. Not long back from an injury. Frida Rolfo, who helped them get here. For the final goal. One final huddle and team talk. but only when Sonia's ready. Lucy Bronze wants to get the party started.
How is she still bouncing round after 90 minutes? As
she's made of different things to normal people. Yeah, that's the thing people don't realise about Lucy Bronze. And still on the podium, they wait for the winners.
I think this actually says a lot about the regime at Chelsea under Bonpastor. Is she sees this as a real moment to get a real key message over to her players, as opposed to just going along with what the schedule suggests. But listen, anybody who's been questioning the togetherness and the happiness of this group only needs to look at these scenes right now.
No, and they are full of winners, from the coach now right down to the young players just getting their first taste of action. Players like Lexi Potter, now is a medal winner, has played a reasonably big part in this competition. And nice to have the nippers with you on Mother's Day.
Yeah, and it's great actually, because we know how well Chelsea invest in their women's team, and they can, on their day, go out and buy anybody they like. But still great to see players like Erin Cuthbert, nearly 10 years at the club, Aggie Beaver-Jones on the score sheet from their academy, Lexi Potter getting a run out in the final as well. So that's still a big piece of why they're so successful, Chelsea, is who can they bring through their youth ranks.
Bonpastor has her 4th winners' medal at Chelsea, to go with all the others she collected in France as a player and coach. Lucy Bronze has her 23rd major honour. Lexi Potter there, her 1st. Chloe Sawi, I thought at one point we might have to see today with them dropping like flies. I'm sure she'd have loved to have got on, but her time will come for sure. Lauren James still looking bashful.
And a lot has been spoken about winning just being in the DNA of Chelsea, and the fact that it doesn't even need to be mentioned. Alyssa Thompson mentioned this week that nobody's actually sat her down and told her that winning is an expectation. It's just a feeling you get when you arrive at the club. And for those young players on the bench today, it's moments like this that make them even hungrier to go on, represent Chelsea, but continue that winning legacy for them.
Congratulations there for Hannah Hampton. Had a couple of big stops to make today and did, but wasn't overly tested that much. Spencer, Olivia Peng, Aggie Beaver-Jones, and Erin Cuthbert. She's going to get her mitts on the trophy shortly. She typifies it, keeps collecting medals, keeps just working even harder. Chelsea now 4-time winners. For the 4th time. Millie Bright, are you going to get involved? There's probably some sort of plan here. Chelsea still doing what Chelsea always do, win trophies. And it may be their last go at the League Cup for a while. 7 straight finals. Winners back-to-back, 4 in all. And they've done for Manchester United again. And such is the chaos there that Erin Cuthbert was left on her own with the trophy for a while there.
Well, Bonpastor has spoken, and there won't be any fizzy bubbles being consumed tonight, but there's plenty flying round in players' eyes just then. But brilliant scenes, and just another reminder to everybody watching on across the UK, across England and Europe as well, that Chelsea are still very much here and still very much the winning machine they've always been.
Yeah, that is the point. For once, the WSL title is not going to be going to them after 6 in a row. But they could still make big waves in Europe and keep hold of both domestic cups. And when that's an off-season, you know you're in a good place. Bonpastor's Blues, winners again, yet more medals for some pretty burgeoning collections all round. They will have to come back down to earth with Brighton as the rearranged midweek are coming up, and you would think with the experience they have in the camp that will not be a problem. Manchester United will have to use this as fuel, I guess, to try and pip the Blues, or indeed the pair of them could overtake Arsenal. We shall see. There is a lot still to happen in this women's campaign, but the first trophy in it has been won by Chelsea. Lauren James and Aggie Beever-Jones with the goals at Ashton Gate. And deserved winners in a fairly cagey cup final in the end. From Jones and Ben Andrews, it's goodbye.